Hey everyone, how you doing? Jorge Ventura here, another podcast day here at the studio at Ventura Graphics. I walked into the office this morning and there's a customer here picking up their order. We have an old-timer here. And I asked him, hey, how you doing? Let me show you what I'm working on. So I brought him to the back into the studio, show him the studio. And I asked him, hey, have a seat. We'll do a podcast. So he's here. He's not aware of what we're going to talk about. He didn't know that we were going to do a podcast. So the old-timer that I have here is our good friend, Chris Spicher. How are you, Chris?
Hey, Jorge, fantastic. Thank you. Thanks for pulling me in.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, this is payback.
Well, we've known each other a long time, and I think we've gone back and forth doing nice things for each other, solving problems, doing favors. So what's the payback today?
So the payback is because a few years ago, you know, way before pandemic time, you took me into the studio at the radio station.
Right.
And you interviewed me at the radio station.
Right.
So now it's payback. Now it's my turn to interview you. But it's all fun, though. It's a fun payback.
It is fun. That was 12 minutes of, I got to think of questions, but the nice thing is you just open the door and your guest usually has plenty to talk about.
Right, right. So I call you an old-timer.
Right.
Because I've seen on social media that there's a group out there called the Old-Timers, and you're part of it. You and Sandy Corrales are part of it.
Right.
So I'm like, what is an old-timer? You know, can I be an old-timer? Who can be an old-timer? Can you explain to us, to our audience, who's never heard of the old-timer terminology, and what is it? What is an old-timer?
Antelope Valley, the whole Antelope Valley. An old-timer is a term of endearment. It's not a derogatory term. You have to put some time in to be an old-timer. And if you were born here 26 years ago, you would be an old-timer. Because you've been here in the Antelope Valley about 25 years, which is loosely what we say, because that way we get some great stories. We meet once a month, the last Friday of the month, 12 noon at Sizzler, Palmdale Boulevard and 10th West. Everybody gets the microphone for 1 to 2 minutes. Tell us who you are, where you came from, how you found the Antelope Valley, some things you remember, because many things we talk about now aren't there anymore.
Right, right. So you said if I was born here, so do I have to be born here in Antelope Valley?
Sorry. You do not have to be born here, but if you've been here roughly 25 years or more.
Okay, so I qualify then because I've been here 26 years now.
There you go. So you come and buy your lunch because that's how we pay the rent at the Sizzler.
Okay.
By buying lunch, great parking, nice comfortable seat in an air-conditioned room. And we meet the last Friday of every month, except for November and December, busy time of the year. So we just go dormant until January. We'll normally have someone come in and be a program or speaker. And then, like I said, everybody gets to grab the mic and tell a story.
About the Antelope Valley.
About the Antelope Valley. And the old-timers lunch kind of started out as a Palmdale group because Larry Chimboli and Frank Sperling and Joe Davies and some of these guys and gals that made the Antelope Valley what it is were still around. And so they'd get together and have a round table. We kind of had to open it up and make it a big U-shaped table now because we got about 30 to 35 people coming to the lunch.
Wow, it's growing.
It's growing.
Yeah.
The nice thing is all 40, 50 people haven't shown up at the same time. But it's fun. And people get to identify with the valley, and they get to, even though things have changed quite a bit, it's not the Antelope Valley that we grew up with. It's still full of nice people with nice memories, and that's what makes it so much fun to have the Old Timers events. And not to be confused with the Old Timers barbecue, which is at the fairgrounds in October.
So that's something different. That's a different group.
That's a different group. More Old Timers.
Old time, okay. So it's at Sizzlers on 10th Street West in Palmdale Boulevard.
Correct.
The last Friday of the month.
Right.
At 12 noon? 12 noon, okay.
Show up a little early.
I'll try to make it. You know, Fridays is hard for me because Fridays I go down to LA, to Orange County to get supplies and things like that every Friday. And I'm usually back by 12:30. I live here at 7 in the morning.
Right.
And I'm back by 12:30, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'll try to make it the next one. I'll try to remember. I'll put it in my agenda, to be there.
Sometimes it takes a while to get the habit, and you don't need to go every time. There's no membership, there's no dues. It's just a loose association. I keep an email list for invites, and we also talk about it on Facebook.
Okay. And you guys have like an agenda, what you guys going to talk about, or is just...
Very short agenda. We stand up, we salute the flag, we have a prayer for the food and the safety of the room, and then each person introduces himself. We do the program, we adjourn. We're out of there by 1:30.
Okay. All right. I'll try to make it. If you can, shoot me an email, remind me.
I can do that. I have your current contact information now.
Okay. Yeah. And then the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, AV Nice.
AV Nice.
AV Nice. I've seen the wristbands that you pass around. I had one. Somebody took mine. I think I gave it to a customer or something.
I can get you another one.
Talk to me about AV Nice. You know, how long have you been doing it? Why? And
I think that I've been doing AV Nice 15 years.
Okay.
Every September, I would go to the land of Nice, Minnesota, for a canoe trip in the Boundary Waters. And in Minnesota, they have something called Minnesota Nice, which is just, I'm even starting to get into the Minnesota dialect here, but it's just people being nice and being courteous and respectful and saying hello and opening doors and helping people. And I thought, the Antelope Valley, we need to change the way that we talk about ourselves sometimes. And typically it's the people who have been here a while that say derogatory things, which can be hurtful, because the Antelope Valley is our home.
Right.
We live here, and we're emotionally invested. And to say it's not the greatest place in the world, well, it doesn't have a beach, but you can get to the beach from here.
You got the sand that's closest to the beach.
There's a lot of stuff going on, and here we are in the middle of summer getting excited about it's only 95 today.
That's funny, yeah. Yeah, because we had 100-degree weather for like 3 weeks.
Hey.
And then all of a sudden it was in the 90s.
It's the desert.
It was in the 90s, like, hey, it's cold outside.
It's the desert, and it's a great place for building things and for flying things and for testing things. And we have some amazing people that come here to do amazing things, and right in the Antelope Valley. And so AV Nice is kind of like celebrating the Antelope Valley and just changing the conversation. It's not lying, it's not covering up, it's just choosing to hang out with the live wires and the ones that make a difference and make conversation and relationships, friendships with people.
Yeah, AV Nice. There's a lot of nice people out there. There's some bad apples, but overall, my wife and I have been living here in the Antelope Valley since 1998. And this is our home. We rooted here. When we first moved in here, we knew no one here, not a soul. The only person that we knew is the realtor who we met at the time. They helped us move in here. And since then, we've been rooted here. Now we're part of the community.
You're a big part.
We're here. And we love the AV.
It's a small fish bowl, and you're a big fish.
A
person could be a big fish.
I'm a whale.
I found out. Let's see. It's porpoises are not fish. They're mammals, right? But whales?
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay.
That's what I'm at. I'm a mammal. But we love the AV. Even my kids were all born in Riverside, and they moved here in '98 when we brought them. And Desiree was in a bassinet. She was a little baby, 2-3 months old, and they're part of the Antelope Valley. This is their town. This is the only town they know. And when we visit relatives down below, they really don't want to go. They don't want to move there because there's no parking. There's crowded. Sometimes we visit my cousin, and we have to go park at the supermarket and walk to her house. I tell them we got to Uber from the supermarket to her house because there's no parking on the street. And here we got plenty of parking.
Yep.
And
enjoy it,
and it's really nice. Yeah, it's AV Nice. The AV is very nice. I really enjoy it. I love the AV. So I've seen some of your wristbands. I think you have one there. How does somebody qualify to get one of those wristbands, and how do you do it? Where do you find the AV Nice people?
Well, the only place where wristbands are up for grabs is Antelope Valley Florist.
Oh, okay.
1302 West Avenue J in Lancaster. That's my flower shop, and that's what brought the Spicher family to the Antelope Valley 70 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. Mom and Dad saw a little flower shop for sale in the high desert. That makes it sound kind of sexy, doesn't it?
Yeah, the high desert.
And they came up and checked it out and made arrangements to purchase it, and we've been doing it a long time.
70 years.
Yeah.
a long time. And so somebody wants a AV Nice, they have to go to the flower shop and ask for it,
Or they could look for me at a Chamber of Commerce lunch. I
okay,
usually have my bag of wristbands along. Or contact me on Facebook just under Chris Spicher, Spicher.
okay.
Say, hey, I want a wristband, and then we'll figure it out.
Oh, all right, all right. Um, Flower.
One size does not fit all, by the way. I don't
Oh.
know what that is about.
Oh,
I'm still
really?
learning about wristbands, but
Yeah.
works good on me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, flowers?
Yeah, flowers. So you had the flower shop for 70 years.
Yeah.
You know, I see it all the time over on Avenue J. You know, and I see that you have what do you call that sign?
We call it the marquee.
The marquee. Yeah, you have a marquee up there, and I see "Happy Birthday" so and so, or
We have
different.
a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, and how often do you change that?
I try to change it twice a week.
Twice a week, really?
People drive by and they
Uh-huh.
look at it,
Yeah.
and they're, that's a scary little part of Avenue J right there. It narrows down, and you need to be focused real well, but
Mm-hmm.
that's why we keep our messages real short on the marquee.
Yeah. I know that you have been involved in the community in different things, because I always see you at different events. We run into each other. We were at the Hacienda Lane Ranch a couple weeks back.
Isn't that fun?
That was fun. I saw you there. I go to a Chamber of Commerce event and I see you there. You've been a supporter of both the Hispanic Chamber and the AV Chambers when it was called the Lancaster Chamber of Commerce.
Right.
How has the AV Chamber of Commerce helped your business, Chris?
It keeps me current.
Uh-huh.
I think if you're going there to make a big sale every month, it's not going to happen. But typically, people really don't know what we do. They know what they do,
Right.
but they don't always take the time to figure out what it is you do and how do you pay the rent,
Right.
And so joining the chambers, going to the events, I meet somebody new. It makes me, since I am the old guy, I have to stay.
You're the old timer.
Yeah, in years.
Uh-huh.
Have to stay current, and so you're always meeting new people. And so like the flower shop with the marquee, yesterday at the Hispanic Chamber, I met Mike, and he's opened up an urgent care directly across Avenue J from the flower shop.
Yeah, the Lancaster Urgent Care.
Right. And also Palmdale Urgent
Palmdale Urgent Care. Mhm.
So I'm going to take the east side of the marquee and say, like, urgent care 250 feet on your right, and then take a photo of it and mail it to Mike, and he'll just think that's the greatest thing since all that other marketing he's done,
Yeah, yeah.
which is good, by the way. But
Yeah,
so
Mike.
Important to be out and stay current and just kind of see what's going on in our wonderful community.
Right. There's a lot of people, a lot of business owners, okay, and they join an organization, they like Team, or the Hispanic Chamber, the AV Chambers, Corsial Chamber, and they wait for the phone to ring, for something to happen, and it's not going to happen.
Doesn't work like that.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that. And at the end of the day, they say, you know what? I joined that Chamber of Commerce, didn't do anything for me. They're no good. I'm not joining again. La, 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 la. And it's not how it works. It's a two-way street. You have to put in it yourself, right? You have to attend their mixers. You have to attend their breakfasts, their luncheons, ribbon cuttings, because that's how you're networking and meeting other business owners, right? And that's how business comes in. Don't go in there try to sell right away what you do.
Yeah.
Just go in there to show your face and say hello, exchange business cards,
Yeah.
exchange ideas. Take your business cards back with you. Shoot an email. Hey, I met you at the chamber. It was great meeting you. Here's my contact info. That's it. Next event, you'll see him again. Next event, you'll see him again. You'll
Right.
see him repetition, right? It's like farming for the real estate agents,
Yep.
right? Eventually, they're going to need some flowers. They're going to need some printing. They're going to need something that I do, or they might meet somebody who needs something that we do. And that's where we get the referrals, right?
That's great. That's genius.
Yeah.
People don't realize that.
Right, and that's how that works. If you join a chamber, a commerce, you need to put in. You need to invest in it. Not just the $150 or whatever it is, the fees to become a member. You have to invest the time. And I see you do that because you and I bump into each other at different events. We go to the mixer at the hotel. Hey, Chris, how you doing? We go to another event. You're there. Even when we go to funerals, I've seen you there.
I love going to those events. Those are unique situations with people who will never be together in the same room at the same time ever again.
Right.
So I love it.
Yeah.
I wanted to tell you, I'm at a Chamber of Commerce event, and my phone rings, and it's a classmate of mine from high school, because I went to high school here.
Uh-huh.
And he says, my brother and I need to sell our parents' house. So I'm at this Chamber of Commerce event, and I look around the room for a realtor. You know,
Did you
and a
spot
realtor, there's a realtor that came to the chamber lunch, and he gets to sell somebody's house.
Yeah.
He showed up.
You never know.
You don't know.
You know, that's why you got to network. You got to be out there at every event that you can. You know, I belong to a few for the chambers, you know, and I also belong to GAVAR. You familiar with GAVAR? The Board of Realtors, Greater Valley Association of Realtors. I belong there. I'm not a real estate agent, but I'm there all the time. And when they need signs and they need anything like that, they come to me.
Yeah.
We service them. Yeah, there's competition. They go other places, but a lot of them come to us, and that's because we see each other. You network. You never know, right? So, Chris, I want to thank you for stopping by. Thank you for all your support all these years. You've been a great customer of ours, you know. And I want to thank you for coming in and, you know, spending some time with us here at the studio, the podcast. You know, it's a brand new studio that we just built.
It's beautiful.
You know, and we're learning. You know, this is new to us. And, you know, when I started the tour graphics, I didn't know anything about the business, and I learned as I went. I started a newspaper. I don't know if you remember. I used to own El Sol del Desierto. It was a newspaper out here, you know, that I started. I said, hey, I could do that. And I went ahead and did it, you know. I used to have a real estate magazine. I'd never done one. I did it. And I said, hey, you know what? I want to do podcasts. I could do this. So now we're here doing it.
You and Vicky have made a big difference in the Antelope Valley.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Chris. You too. You
And
too.
your video guy.
Yeah, Chuck. Chuck is here. We're going to put Chuck's picture here so people know who Chuck is.
Good idea.
You know. But yeah, so hey, thank you very much for being here. Thanks for coming in again. Thanks for the support. You know, we'll see you around town at the next event.
Antelope Valley Florist.
Antelope Valley Florist. I'll have the website.
Except no substitutes.
No substitutes. There you go. You hear it. So I don't know what holidays are coming in, but you got birthdays, you got Mother's Day, Valentine's Day. Order from AV Flowers, you know.
Thank you.
Good. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. Chris, thank you.
Jorge, thank you.
I'll see you Friday at the Old Timers meeting.
Very good. I'll go get that wristband for you.
All right. Thank you, Chris.